When there's a will, there's a way. When we want to achieve something from the depths of our heart, if we want to do that wholeheartedly, then nothing can stop us to become successful. It's just that, many of us are afraid to take that first step. We are like, what will happen? We doubt ourselves. We have certain fears that what if we fail? But then, if we just go out of that zone, that, what if we fail? We'll rise up again. If we go out of that zone and if we then explore and started exploring that new world of new ideas, new opportunities, then the realm that opens in front of us is just like, wow. And only then, when we have taken the first step and we start exploring, will we actually be able to find, what we are meant for. And we'll start tasting the flavors of success. And then there are some people who don't hesitate at all, who just go at what they want, just like that. And we have to learn from those people because these are the people who show us that nothing is impossible for a willing heart. So, hello everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Renaissance with Swati. And today I have with me the enigmatic and super successful young woman entrepreneur, Swadha Jain from Glimmer Lightings. She's been doing this business from the last 8 years and she's so successful. Hi, Swadha. How are you today?
Hey Swati, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. So, Swadha, you were saying that you always wanted to go into business, even when you were a child. So, would you like to tell something about your journey?
Uh, Actually, it started pretty early. I knew what I wanted to do since school. And so it came to me pretty early. And I started around when I was still in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I started making and, visioning the brand that I want and what I want to do. And then right after school, I started my business. I
Mm-hmm.
started with putting up stalls and exhibitions,
Um,
and I had a response. I tested the waters and I liked it, and the response was good. People liked the products, so I
right.
went on to register my firm,
Okay.
and then we started selling online. It was very new at that point of time.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so
Right.
that's how I started at that time.
So, how did you come up with the idea of Glimmer Lightings?
So that's actually interesting. So I have been a regular visitor
Okay.
uh, Hadirat Palace
Okay.
because I also live in that area,
Mm-hmm.
lived in that area at that time as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just attracted me. And also, I was very creative
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
I liked decorating the house overall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I liked that, once like at Diwali, like we usually
Right.
decorate our home.
Right.
So I
Right.
was decorating the house. And
Okay.
that's when I was like, I spent the whole day doing it, and it was not tiring. It was very fun, and I
Right.
was sure I really liked it.
Okay.
So amongst like, all the other things I did, I just love doing that. So
Wow.
that's just like, I just want to do that. Like,
Okay, you like doing something, but then if you convert it into your profession, there are so many burdens of handling a business that you will just face burnout and you will stop liking it anymore. So do you also face that?
so there's one thing being creative. It's one thing designing something. It's one thing doing those things. And there's another thing handling the accounts or handling the staff
Exactly.
or, taking care of those, how the shipping is going to work out and
Right.
everything. When
Right.
you start, you're like hooked on the idea that, yeah, I'm going to do something I really like.
Right.
But hidden behind those doors is that plethora of 80% of things that you have to manage otherwise.
Okay. Okay.
The chefs working in the kitchen, they're like, we are happy with the recipe. I don't
Right.
care how to serve it, Ram.
Right. Right.
So, but in
Okay.
business, you have to do it all.
So what are the challenges that you faced initially, when you started on this journey? I'm sure you must have faced a lot of challenges, right?
So, the first challenge in itself was, going around and saying, I want to make a film.
Okay.
And it comes up like, you know, like how serious that is. You're registering your firm with the government. You
Right.
have to pay taxes. Do you know
Exactly.
what you're doing? So that was one. And I was pretty young. So everyone thought that maybe it's just a hobby, or like, I'm just liking
Right.
something. Like,
Right.
takes at just out of school, like at
Right.
7. So first to convince everyone that no, look, I'm serious about this. And then to make your firm, you have to have a lot of documentation. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a PAN at that time. So the procedure started at that level to get a
Mm-hmm.
PAN, going forward
Right.
and doing.
Right.
And after registering, also to take somebody my age
Of
seriously,
course. Of
like
course.
very hard. And we are talking like at least 10 years ago. And at that time, not a lot of girls were working, let alone
Right.
women.
Right. Right.
Girls were definitely, and they were definitely not running a business. They were probably going to do a job
Right. Exactly.
thing or going into teaching. So I was also
Ex-
suggested that you should go for teaching or a bank job that
Mm-hmm.
leaves you for the rest of the
Right.
day.
Right.
Think of your future.
Mm-hmm.
You will get married. What if people don't want that? And but then like at 17, who is thinking like that? No.
Mm-hmm.
So and the best part, like my parents were pretty supportive. They didn't have
Okay.
an issue with that. So I thought that like if my parents are okay with this, then who else do I need to think of? So like, okay, let's do it.
That's nice. So now 10 years back, if you look back at the Swadha 10-year back, do you feel that, you took the right decision? Are you happy every day or are you left burnout at the end of the day?
There are two things to it. Like one decision is that one part of my realizations is that I think I have been very risk taking and courageous at that point of time, and I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of that.
Okay.
Like don't think I have ever been that uh you know uh I mean it's crazy to think that I could have taken that leap at that point of time like I
Right.
did. So I'm
Right.
very happy about that. But when it comes to looking back, I also feel that when you're just doing a business, it takes a toll on the time you're spending doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Like the times I'm in college, my friends are going out, but
Mm-hmm.
my business,
Right.
important, and
Right.
I'm working on the weekend, and like I'm studying as well. So
Right.
there was
Right.
a lot of like you're doing more,
Mm-hmm.
so you faced it at that time. And then
Mm-hmm.
moreover, I felt that I should have worked somewhere earlier so that I could
Okay.
have got a taste of
Okay.
both the things. I
Mm-hmm.
personally feel uh, you get that experience of
Exactly.
working with somebody.
Exactly.
I think
Exactly.
that also helps your business. But
Mm-hmm.
because I started early, and it's like once you start your business, it's not like I can tell somebody like, for 3, 4 months you take care of this. I want to do something else.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, like you don't get
Right.
the breaks. You don't have the
You don't have any
option.
backup option.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
either you do it or you put an end to it.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
it's like having a
Ex
kid.
right.
You don't get the
Nice
option
analogy.
to. So yeah, that's also there.
Okay. So how did you mitigate all those challenges, being so young? And like you said, at that point of time, 10 years back, women going into business was considered like, they should be into 9 to 5 jobs or be into teaching. So how do you feel about that? Women into entrepreneurship. What do you feel about that?
I think first of all, it's courageous. Second of all, if like I'll tell you something, when like boys
Mm-hmm.
rather are born, or
Mm-hmm.
they're in, there's always an expectation around it and what do you want to do in life. So they're hardwired, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like you talk to them and they know that I want
Mm-hmm.
to work and I want to support my family,
Right.
and
Right.
that's
Right.
how it's difficult
Right.
for them because they have like so many expectations that if they fail or if they do not start at the time
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
expecting, they face a hard time. But with
Mm-hmm.
women, nobody's expecting anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
even if you jump into it. You get into the expectations like she's taking the money right now, she's starting it up, she's gonna give it up, and she's gonna burn out the cash, and वो शौक पूरा हो जाएगा. That's how it's
Right.
looked. शौक पूरा हो
Exactly.
जाएगा.
Huh.
शौक कर रहे हैं उन्होंने एक छोटा सा ये काम किया है. That's the
Mm-hmm.
we don't uh, get those expectations growing up कि
Mm-hmm.
you have to do something in your life, or what
Right.
is your choice.
Right.
Although today things have shifted, the questions for girls and boys is same after class 10th or 12th, that what you're going to do with your life.
Mm.
Earlier on, that was not a question. It was
Mm.
like कि college करेगी, college के बाद उसकी शादी. So now, so that expectations also,
Right.
like some
Right.
like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have an expectation, so I
Right.
didn't feel
Right.
I didn't even think of that. So that was there, but then also to fight that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like come on, take me seriously. I'm definitely not trying to
Right. 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 Right.
do a passion or hobby.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But that
there.
is also a wonderful insight, right? When there are no expectations, then you don't fear failing. It's like, I just want to do it because I want to do it, and it's okay to fail. So you don't have any expectations, like you rightly said.
That
Then
is not
boys,
there.
yeah,
As to who's gonna get disappointed. They anyway
hmm
thought it's a fluke.
right,
So
right.
be
Because in Indian society, at least they still feel that, a man is the sole bread earner. So even if a woman fails, that's okay. So men
yeah,
have that
yeah.
pressure on their heads. So luckily, or I mean, in that era,
They're
now
also
things are changing.
like they are trained for it. No, like uh they're taught this. So they're
Mm-hmm,
also confident about it. Like when they jump into the business, they have
mm-hmm,
a lot of confidence. They have a lot of support. Like,
mm-hmm,
all the other male figures in the family would come and sort
mm-hmm,
of tell them what to do, support them, help them
mm-hmm.
out.
Right, right, right.
So I think that makes a lot of difference. It's a good thing. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the scenarios now are changing. At least now, everybody sees women and men as equal, girls and boys as equal, and they want to give equal opportunities and equal expectations. And even after marriages, people want to be equal partners in everything, be it finance, be it home responsibilities, everything. So being an entrepreneur and being financially independent, how did it mold you?
I think a lot. Like to have the ability to take the decisions for yourself
Mm-hmm.
is the biggest thing that uh, being financially independent
Mm-hmm.
and also doing a business, puts into you. I am not
Mm-hmm.
uh, like, I will not be consigned to the environment I was born into or the friends
Right, right.
I have a circle that is beyond my home. What people say, na, duniya dekhna, is what
Mm-hmm.
something you do when step out of your home, be it a job, be it a
Obviously,
business.
obviously,
So
yes.
only then you meet people who are not your friends, who are
Right.
probably not, uh, thinking all the good things for you or in your best
Exactly.
interest. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when you see and learn the
Mm-hmm.
maximum.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that really helps and shapes you, helps you have an opinion that is probably yours and not
Right. Right.
from your environment or things you were allowed to see, if I should say so.
Exactly.
Like,
When you step out,
you're allowed
yeah.
to see things for yourself.
Exactly.
So I think,
Till you are in school, till you're in colleges, you have that limited opinions, limited perspectives.
right,
But when you meet new people whom you are completely not aware of, then the perspectives, the lenses that you see them from is completely different.
right.
Right.
That's why we always go for our friends in different situations because
Mm-hmm.
uh, that there's a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody you
Right.
chose and the perspective is
Mm.
coming from that end. So I think that's the start point of it.
So you also mentioned that, when your friends were hanging out during college days, you were establishing your business. So how does it feel about the social life, touching upon the topic of social life? So when you're in a job, you still, if you're going to offices, you're talking out, you're hanging out in the cafes or things like that. But when you're doing a business sitting in an office whole day or just interacting with your customers or the clients, right? So how does that social life difference makes you feel?
It's it's really a social life hazard when you're doing a business. So you don't get to
Okay.
meet people who are probably your age or your
Mm-hmm.
peers,
Mm-hmm.
and most people, other people, either you're working with
Exactly.
or you're like they're working with you,
Mm-hmm.
but then like there's no social group that you would say that
Mm-hmm.
is coming from work, like
Right.
maybe
Right.
friends and family that you're meeting after that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the time you're in your office,
Mm-hmm.
so it's really difficult. It's very difficult that a client at the end of the day would become
Mm-hmm.
that sort of friend that you would
Right.
call up at any time of
Right.
the day, like, okay, let's hang out.
Mm-hmm. You don't have a
I
colleague as such whom you can call and discuss about,
Yeah,
I'm facing this, I'm facing that. You can discuss that with the friends or family outside, but within that zone of the business, you cannot
but they're
discuss
not
that.
saying like a colleague faces the same situation as you. Like my boss is like that. But here you're the boss. Like, who do you complain to?
That's wonderful. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so you're the terrible boss who gave yourself like 10 things to do.
Right. So you also mentioned about that, glimmer lightings, and you were fascinated by it over Diwali when you decorated your homes. So, do you capture it as a vision? What is your vision around your business? Want to talk about your vision.
My basic vision when I started off was that lightings is used wherever happiness is there,
Mm-hmm.
and like your festivals, be it a party at your home. So
Mm-hmm.
every time you put up a light is basically when you're happy. So my initially thought was to
Right.
be a part of everyone's happiness. So that's how, like I remember the first year into the business,
Mm-hmm.
and we counted like how many products we delivered and everything, and it was like 25, like 2,500,
Wow. In the
and
first year.
like yeah, and we were like, so we are a part of these many homes,
Right.
celebrating
Right.
with them in our own way.
Wow.
So that's my inspiration around it. And what my vision is that so there's no particular market or
Mm-hmm.
brand
Mm-hmm.
dedicated to only string lights. So there's a lot of lightings there, but
Mm-hmm.
something regulated for string lights and which
Mm-hmm.
is based in India and for the Indian customers, the colors we like, the designs
Right.
we like, for the
Right.
festivals that we celebrate is
Mm-hmm.
not like what we basically put at home is Christmas lights made
Right.
in China.
Right. Right.
So the vision has been to put Diwali lights made in India, Eid lights
Wow.
made in India. So lights that
Wow.
are for Indian
Wow.
customers, things we
Right.
like, the colors we like. So that's
Mm.
the vision, to have a brand dedicated to lightings. That is why we went so specific into the branding, Glimmer
Mm-hmm.
Lightings.
Right, right.
If
That's
that
wonderful. You are promoting your own culture. You're promoting the Indianness amongst all of us and all the festivals, reliving all those festivals. Because now the kids now, like we talked earlier, that the kids now do not enjoy festivals as much as we used to do. We were fascinated about Diwali 1 month before Diwali starts. We are fascinated about Holi 1 month before
like
Holi starts.
getting new clothes, what to wear, what to
Exactly.
how to decorate, the house is getting painted. And now
Right.
Diwali, like, वो 3 दिन का मेरा छुट्टी आ रहा है.
Right.
Plan something around it.
Exactly. We only count it as holidays that we'll just enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
that's
you
there.
talk,
Also,
yeah.
it's like I remember like how like for the designs that we're using. So हम गेंदे के फूल से डेकोरेट कर रहे हैं.
Hmm.
हम कलरफुल कलर्स की रंगोलियां बना रहे हैं. सो
Hmm.
अब वो चीजें हम लोग एक्चुअली टीवी
Mm-hmm.
में ऐड में देखते हैं लेकिन हम घर में नहीं कर रहे होते हैं. So
Hmm.
I think that really
Right,
affects.
right. That really affects. Absolutely. If we do that, अगर हम रंगोली बनाएंगे, अगर हम फूलों से सजाएंगे, only then the kids will learn the importance of our
Yeah.
culture. That is really beautiful. So you mentioned about the Make in India part. So how do you implement that Make in India part?
So most of our lights are designed and made in India.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I am myself a women entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
so we actually went on to connect with an NGO,
Okay.
and we realized that calling people to our shop or workplace
Mm-hmm.
and making it work is difficult for women. so they cannot leave
Obviously.
their home
Yeah. Right.
bodies
Right.
behind
Right.
and spend like 6 or 8 hours
Mm-hmm.
working at a
Mm-hmm.
different place. So
Mm-hmm.
what we did was there was a local NGO that was
Mm-hmm.
amongst the area they live in. And so we went on to, so the women suggested that we would work here. It's our
Wow.
area
Mm-hmm.
and it's take it to our home. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how we're doing it. We are connected with
Nice.
NGO, women-based
Nice.
NGO. So the products, they make it there at their convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually bargain with the rates there so that
Mm-hmm.
it's comfortable for them. They earn fine by themselves at their convenience time and place. They make the items
Mm-hmm.
and they don't even have to travel. So that's
That's
how
really
we are trying
nice. So
to
basically,
encourage.
right. So what I understand is that you are first of all promoting the Indian culture, and then you're engaging so many women through the help of the NGO, and you are empowering them as well, right? You're empowering all those women that they can be independent. That is really wonderful because at the end of the day, it's financial freedom for women also that is needed. So, do you want to touch on that topic of financial freedom for women, especially?
So I think financial freedom
Mm-hmm.
is important for everyone. Like when we were kids,
Mm-hmm.
you and I, we were given like say 500 rupees or 1,000 bucks
Mm-hmm.
as per
Mm-hmm.
monthly on our
Mm-hmm.
budget. And that
Mm-hmm.
felt very empowering even then as kids.
Right,
Like
right,
now I
uh,
have 500 rupees, I'm gonna save
right.
this much, spend this much. I wanted to buy that, so I'm
Mm.
going to. So,
To
but
from my
then,
pocket money, right,
yeah, absolutely. Like you have the right. It's my
right,
pocket. I am not gonna
uh,
ask for
right.
10 rupees or something, or I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
save for it.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that 500 rupees gave you so much of sort of independence on your decisions for that 500 rupees. So imagine when you start earning for yourself. It's got nothing to do with egos or something
Right,
like that.
right, right, right.
Too
Yeah.
much to be able to afford what you want without having to ask somebody or request
Hmm.
somebody. Feel like they would say
Yeah.
no. Embarrassed that,
Right,
I
right.
want that dress now. It's like that much. So will they say no? Like you feel
Mm-hmm.
good self that I'm able to afford. And
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, you don't feel like a burden. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Right. You,
not hard on
right.
myself because I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be a burden to somebody. It's got nothing to do with how much you're earning or
Right,
how much
right.
you spend. It's all about the fact having a bit of control in your life,
Exactly.
whatever way
Right.
that
I
like
think,
you see
it
our mom.
starts as a student, as a child, when we are into school and we have to buy something from our canteens. And I remember my parents used to give me 10 rupees every day that, you have these 10 rupees, you can spend it in the canteen and you can buy anything you want to. Right.
So
Yeah.
that was a way of decision making. I mean, it helps you take decisions, it helps you save, it helps you understand money. Like when even our mothers were probably not working for
Mm-hmm.
most of us that
Mm-hmm.
time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they still had a budget. They still had
Right.
to
Right.
they still had to ration and spend it accordingly. At that festivals are coming, she has to buy
Mm-hmm.
clothes or gifts or something, or at the same time they have to do it for the home. So the
Mm-hmm.
kind of financial knowledge is
Mm-hmm.
omni. It's
Right.
not for me
Right.
only.
Exactly.
And to
It's
be
for
able
everyone.
to and take those decisions and to
Mm-hmm.
save something for yourself and do something for yourself without having to
Right.
ask is important. I think
Exactly.
that's what our mothers craved the most and pushed us for
Exactly.
that, started that,
Right.
be a little self-dependent.
That is what
So
my
I
mother told me, when I was stepping out of my school and I wanted to choose a stream for myself. She was like, any stream you choose, you have to be financially independent. You
yeah,
don't have to be burdened on anyone. You should be able to take your financial decisions on your own. And because once you're financially independent, you have that respect for yourself and other people also respect you, right? Because you're not a burden anymore, right? So that
that's
is
very true.
wonderful. You also touched upon the topic that, gende ka phool, something. So seeing beauty in the nature around us, seeing beauty in the little things around us, that is a very rare quality. We always look to find beauty in bigger things, but then seeing that beauty in little things around us, that is a very, very rare quality. I think you possess that. So would you like to talk on that topic? Seeing beauty everywhere.
Think, like I say it as a joke, but there are few people who are basically golden retrievers. So what I mean is, like you would see a dog passing by in the car next to you, and they're not trying to look at you, but everything around them, the trees, the clouds, and what's
Right.
happening, that, and they would stop to smell the flowers or eat them maybe.
Exactly,
So I
exactly.
think that's what I call creative people around me, that we are the little
Right,
golden,
right,
like,
right.
and also hoarders. We want to
Hmm.
save everything. I wouldn't look at a cardboard box as a normal box. Okay, you
Right,
put in. It's like, yeah, I can like make a shelf out of it, or I can cut it and make some wind
right.
chime bass, or
Nice.
make some art on that. So I think that's, yeah, like so there's a running
Yeah.
joke uh, in school. So when birds would start running in the daylight,
Yeah, yeah.
and I would tell everyone that birds are going back home. It's gonna rain, and that was the running joke.
Nice.
But then, like, what
I
logic
think,
that?
I can resonate it as a child as well. And when you grow up. So now that I have kids, I see them seeing that beauty in those little things. When we go out in a car and they cry, I just show them, see the flag, Indian flag waving over there, or see the clouds, see the sun, see the moon, or see the trees. And they're very fascinated by the animals, see the dogs around, see the cows around, and they'll be just fascinated and they'll stop crying and they'll be happy in an instant. So they are also seeing happiness in those little things. And like you clearly mentioned that, being creative. I was also very creative from the beginning. Somehow I also became logical when I joined the IT industry. I had both the things in me. I think all of us have both things in us, being creative, being logical. But yes, as being creative, we are hoarders, I still have that all those things in my parents' home, which I created when I was small. So I created little stuffed toys. I created all the poems that I used to write, all the articles as in the school which I used to write, all the speeches, etc. There's still a big folder of that, and tell my parents, please don't throw it away. I want to preserve that memory forever. So yes, we are big hoarders. Right.
Very true.
Okay. So you mentioned that, it is difficult for people to come into business, especially women. Any advice or anything for those people, Any tips for the people who want to come into business but are hesitating somehow? Any advice for them?
I think take the jump, trust yourself, take the jump. You are the person who needs to trust yourself the most. And if you trust yourself, people will come along. Like when they see that you're doing something, doing
Mm-hmm.
good at it,
Mm-hmm.
they will come. So if you are confident about it, if you feel like, this is making me happy and I think I can do it, then jump on it. And if you feel that I'm not that confident, then find out what is it that is stopping you.
Mm-hmm.
Find out, work it out, plan everything, write everything if you have to, and just take that leap. You are the most important person when it comes to starting the business.
Right.
So you have to feel confident. You have to trust yourself. What was the reason you thought of it? You have to think of that. If that reason is, good enough, if
Mm-hmm.
the reason is strong enough, then it will motivate you again. So think about it, why you wanted to start.
Okay.
10,000 things are there, but then you went through them
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you start it, you will do it again.
Right.
So take that leap, jump forward is the basic, like
Right.
just
Right.
don't think so much. Just
Okay.
start that.
Okay. And what about the fear of failures? Because some people want to take that leap of faith, but they always have that fear of failure, right? What about the fear of failure?
I think it's a fear of failure is very personal to people. For
Mm-hmm.
some people, fear of failing is my idea will go bad, and I thought
Okay.
the idea was good. For others, it's like, what will people say? For the
Okay.
rest of them, it's like it's the money involved that will
Mm-hmm.
go down the drain or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So very personal as to what is the fear you're feeling. But for all these things, again, like if you don't want the money to go down, you got to plan
Mm-hmm.
it well. If you're
Mm-hmm.
thinking about what people say, like when you're going up, the same people would be like, "You're doing great. You know,
Exactly.
you're
Exactly.
moving. You're so
Exactly.
successful. It's great." And
Mm.
the same people will come back to you and tell you, you know, you shouldn't have started it. It was a bad idea
Right.
altogether.
Right. 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 Right.
Because so whoever doesn't support you in both the ends,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the time, you shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
care about their opinion anyway. Like, you know, if they
Mm.
love you,
Right.
and by
Right.
both the situations,
Exactly.
they will tell you, you have to go for it. We are there for you. If it doesn't happen, we are still there for you. So if a person is not like that, why does their opinion matter anyway?
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
one point. And when it comes to if the idea is good enough or not, then you should test the waters. Like, try it with like if you're into cooking, make the free samples, make people try it. Don't hesitate doing the small stuff. Everyone will
Right.
have to take the first step. It doesn't end up like a large office of 500 people. It doesn't work like that. You have to
Right.
be alone office and doing
Right.
every damn little thing, be it the finances, being cleaning the floor, being packing something, or
Okay.
going to the market and
Mm-hmm.
taking the order, doing the order. You will
Mm-hmm.
have to start like that. So be ready for rejections.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
then, like people's opinion or the money or everything can be sorted. It's all in the head. Mindset is
Right.
everything.
Right.
So it's fine, even if you fail, you will still gain an experience. People who
Exactly.
success again and again over the years learn less than the people who fail and try again.
Exactly.
So I think even if you fail, I think that's a great thing. You had a bump
Yes.
early on, you won't make the
Right.
mistake again.
Right, right. Wonderful. That's wonderful. And I can resonate looking back, so I am, into my career from the last 14 years or so. And
Mhm.
I also, every one of us feel so many, peaks and then the lows, peaks and the lows, peaks and the lows. And all the lows that I faced in my life, I think it is those lows that taught me what or molded me into what I am today. Because those are the lows that gives us those life lessons which no textbook can ever teach us. Because at those point when you are at the lowest, you get to know who your two friends are, who truly will
Right,
support you, and you get to know your potential, that how to rise from it. Because after the darkest hour only the dawn is there. So after the
right,
darkest hour you'll see the lightings. And like your
right.
glimmer lighting is, after the darkest hour, just go to Glimmer Lightings and get the lights in your lives.
Yeah, we talk about the vibe all the time. We're like, you get to the room, you switch on the lights, and you're into your own zone. So we
Hmm.
really talk about that a lot. That take the lights, set your vibe, forget the rest of the day and the world, put on some music, and switch on the main lights and switch on the glimmer lights. And have
Yeah,
that cozy corner for yourself. Those warm lights, soothing music, a cup
right.
of coffee, a book, and like, yeah, just, you know,
I can do it.
have it.
Yeah, just believe that I can do it.
Yeah,
I think that matters a lot, Whatever we do, whatever we want to achieve in our life, if we think we can do it, if we have that mindset that we can do it, then yes, we can do it. If we start thinking that we cannot, or we self-doubting ourselves, we cannot do it. But then if we are, into that zone that anything comes, be it anything, be it anyone, I have to be successful and I will be successful. And if I like that thing, if I like doing that thing from the bottom of my heart, because I chose that thing in the first place,
right.
because I liked it from the bottom of my heart. So I'll do everything possible to make it successful. And that is what gives me true happiness at the end of the day.
I think mindset is everything. If
Right.
you set your mind on it, it's done.
Okay. So what is the final key takeaway from you?
I think the final key takeaway would be like jump on it, trust yourself, you can do it for yourself, but then just do it. Like, don't dwell on the idea, especially because of external factors. If
Mm-hmm.
it's internal, you surely can sort it out. So yeah, mindset is everything. Just, you know, be on it, and you
Yeah.
can then do it easily.
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful advice. And all your beautiful insights and, starting your own business, being a successful young entrepreneur, then helping the women in the NGOs, promoting Indian culture, promoting Make in India. Everything is so inspiring. And I think the advices you gave to just take a leap of faith, I think that will inspire so many people. Thank you, Swada, for being a guest on my podcast. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much.
Talking to you. You're wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.